What's going on, bottom line viewers and NFL bettors? It's Mitch back here for another NFL Week 3 Best Bets video. In this video, my favorite parlays to play and win for week number 3 of the 2022 NFL season. Don't forget to spike the like button and subscribe to the channel for more NFL Best Bets here on the channel, here on the BLV, each and every week. Also, let me know in the comment section below your parlays that you're looking at this week. I'd love to hear them. And don't forget, guys, don't spend most of your bankroll on parlays, please. Don't do it. But that being said, let me give you some of my favorites this week. Let's go, beginning with the Mitch Money Maker Parlay. It's 5 teams. It's spreads and money lines put together. Let's go. Team number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs on the money line. All they got to do is win in Indianapolis. I like the matchup, specifically Mahomes and Andy Reid with 10 days to prepare for a defense that they traditionally torch. I'm talking about Gus Bradley's cover 3. They torch it. Last year versus the Raiders, torched. Flames. Patrick Mahomes could do that again. No Darius Leonard once again for the Colts defense that right now just looks a tad slow in the middle of their defense. That's not good news playing an explosive passing game, playing Travis Kelce in this game in the middle of the field. They got worked versus Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence, a very high completion rate, 25 for 30 last week. Mahomes could work his way down the field. Easy money for the Kansas City offense. Now, with their defense, yes, the Colts are getting some weapons back. Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, they're expected to be back in the lineup, but I believe Steve Spagnuolo is seeing the same things on film that I'm seeing. I'm seeing a Matt Ryan with a limited arm, and his ability to push the ball down the field has been extremely capped this year. He just doesn't look like the same passer with any velocity on the football. Steve Spagnuolo is going to play man coverage, he's going to force tight windows, and he's going to blitz. And that's going to put Matt Ryan in blitzing scenarios to get rid of the ball quick with receivers that aren't exactly the greatest outside of Michael Pittman and behind an offensive line that he feels uncomfortable behind. So I really like this matchup on both sides of the ball right now for Kansas City, especially coming off a Thursday night game last week where they have extra days to rest, extra days to prepare for the Colts. I don't care the Colts need to win this game. I don't care. The Chiefs want to win this game too. So put them in that parlay. The second team is the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals on the money line. I get it. They're burning you. They're burning me. They're burning your cousin. Everybody's bet on the Bengals, and it hasn't worked out. Well, this week is an absolute must-win for them. If they can't beat the New Jersey Jets after the New Jersey Jets just had a crazy comeback emotional victory with Joe Flacco, I don't know who they're going to beat. This is a perfect spot for Cincinnati. Cincinnati's absolutely angry and pissed off, and the Jets are loving life. They won a game. Yippee-ki-yay. Now, Joe Burrow deleted Twitter off his phone, deleted Instagram off his phone. He's ready to rock. I think that this is the worst pass rush they've played so far. The Jets pass rush isn't terrible, but the Cowboys with Micah Parsons, the Steelers with TJ Watt, superior pass rush ability there where they can sack, they can get to Joe Burrow, they can cause dysfunction offensively. I think Joe Burrow hits the ground running in this game. They torch the Jets' young defense. On the flip side, the Bengals defense has been fine. They've been fine. And the Jets offense has been better than expected, but I don't expect much from them in this game. I feel like the Bengals need to win it, and that's why I have them here in the Mitch Moneymaker parlay. The third team, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at a pick'em or -1, whatever. Lay it with the Bucks. The Bucks match up extraordinarily well with the Packers. They have the last couple of times they matched up, including a playoff game in the NFC Championship in Lambeau Field, where they won in an upset, but they won decisively. Tampa Bay in this game may be missing receivers, but they still got Lenny Fournette to thrive against one of the worst run defenses in football right now in the Green Bay Packers. They have the best defense in football at home. This is the home opener in Tampa Bay with Tom Brady in his last season. Too much emotion there for the fans to get excited about, especially when playing Aaron Rodgers. I think that the Bucks could win this one decisively, but all they have to do is win by a point or two, depending on the spread. Now, the fourth team is the Las Vegas Raiders. Yes, I understand, just like the Bengals last week, they broke my heart, but the Raiders are playing a Titans team that is bad, guys. They are very bad. And yes, it's in Tennessee. Yes, the Titans got embarrassed, but it's on a short week for Tennessee coming off a Monday night game. The Raiders do match up really well with the Titans. The Titans tackles are backups or just bad players, period. Taylor Lewan's out. They don't have him. Max Crosby, Chandler Jones should dominate, should pressure Ryan Tannehill. And Ryan Tannehill doesn't have receivers that can expose the weakness of the Raiders defense, which is their back end. The Raiders defense was looking really good in the first half versus Arizona until Kyler Murray went beep beep and then just ran around and made plays. I feel like that dimension of any offense is not coming from the Tennessee Titans. That Kyler Murray just running around making crazy plays, that's not happening this week. You can't prepare for that. That's not happening. And Derrick Henry hasn't been very good this year. The run game of the Titans, their bread and butter, has not been very good. It's been underwhelming. I expect the Raiders to prepare for that. I expect the Raiders to stop that, as they've been very good stopping the run versus both Arizona and the Chargers in week 1 and week 2. So I think the Raiders have a very good advantage on that defensive side of the football. On the other side, we know Darren Waller's tough to cover, but Devontae Adams could really cause issues for a beat up Titans secondary. They're trying to grab people off the street to play cornerback for them. They don't have Harold Landry. They don't have Bud Dupree. Their edge rush is extremely undermanned right now. That could also leave them kind of vulnerable to the run, especially on the outside, the perimeter. Josh McDaniels will expose that if given the opportunity. I think the Raiders are the superior team. I think they look a lot better, even though they are also 0-2. They should win this game handily, and they should win this game as a part of our parlay. And the fifth and final team as a part of our Mitch Moneymaker parlay is the New Orleans Saints -2.5. The Saints play the Carolina Panthers. I feel like some people are still on the Panthers, but Baker Mayfield doesn't look the part, okay? He just isn't playing well. He's getting his passes batted down left and right. He doesn't seem to be in sync with DJ Moore in this offense. He can't seemingly get the most out of Christian McCaffrey right now. The left tackle position is definitely an issue, and you're playing a very good pass rush and defensive line and defense overall, a defense that's real tough and slowed down the Bucs last week. I think the Saints are being undervalued right now because of the way they looked offensively versus Tampa Bay, but I think that was mostly to do with the Bucs defense. I don't think that had that much to do with Jameis Winston and company. I think Chris Olave looked pretty impressive last week despite not a ton of production. Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, Jawan Johnson, Alvin Kamara comes back. I feel like they've got enough weapons there to move the football in the passing game, in the running game, which they've been pretty impressive in the running game so far this year. And it's really only Brian Burns that can rush the passer for the Panthers. He lines up a majority of the time at the left outside linebacker position, which is majority of the time rushing against Ryan Ramczyk, which is the strength of the Saints offensive line. I think the Saints match up well. I think the Saints win, and I think the Saints cover. That is the Mitch Moneymaker parlay. We've got the Chiefs money line, the Bengals money line, the Bucs on the money line or -1, the Raiders -2, and the Saints -2.5. All these teams just need to win by a field goal or less, and you win this parlay. Don't forget about the Underdog Fantasy Pick'em Parlay of the week. If you guys haven't already, make sure to sign up to Underdog Fantasy today using the promo code BLV. The link is in the description. I'll also pin it at the top of the comment section. Use that promo code BLV. They will match your first deposit up to $100 when you sign up, and you can play some pick'em parlays like this. My pick'em parlay for the week is Leonard Fournette, higher than 16.5 rushing attempts. This man has rushed 20 plus times in his first 2 games. I expect the Bucs to run it and run it often versus one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. Specifically, the Packers are the worst run defense on early downs in the NFL so far this year. Cordell Patterson, I've got higher than 43.5 rushing yards in this game versus Seattle. I think there's a couple of reasons for this. Cordell Patterson's been good to start the season. They play a Seattle team. The game should be close. Atlanta could actually have a lead in this game, which means they lean more on Cordell to run the football. Seattle has also been pretty weak against the run, including the Broncos and the 49ers games, where both lead backs went well over this total. You got Travis Kelce. I'm going higher than 73.5. Always a solid bet to bet on Travis Kelce and the Chiefs offense. Just don't see a matchup there against this zone coverage. I think Kelce eats in the middle of the field. Nyheim Hines to have more receiving yards than Paris Campbell. All he's got to do is cover by 2. Paris Campbell's only had 23 yards so far in 2 games. And when he was asked to be the number 1 last week, he did absolutely nothing. He got 0 passes for 0 yards. And we've got Michael Thomas to have more receiving yards than DJ Moore. Basically, my handicap there is that DJ Moore will have to see an elite corner in Marshawn Lattimore, and Michael Thomas will not. So that's pretty much the handicap there. Those are my 5 picks. 5 picks to win $250. I put $25 on it. So I also insured it. So that's a cool new approach for Underdog Fantasy. You can win 4 out of 5, 3 out of 4, 2 out of 3, and then you could potentially still win money on Underdog Fantasy's pick'ems. Check it out, guys. And links in the description for that promo code BLV. Use it. Now, let's get to the teaser options. For week number 3, we have plenty. We have about 6 for you this week. Now, my teaser of the week, as I discussed in my favorite spread plays of the week, is the Patriots and the Texans. You take the Patriots from 2.5 to 8.5 at home. Their home opener, where Bill Belichick is 15-4 as a home underdog with the Patriots in his career, playing the Baltimore Ravens, who are extremely beat up at running back, cornerback, on the offensive line. A lot of different positions the Ravens are beat up. They probably are beat up at wide receiver. Lamar Jackson's even hurt. Jeez. The Patriots have a chance, in my opinion, to upset that game. So getting them up to a full possession at 8.5 is a good bet, in my opinion. And then the Texans playing in a very low-scoring game in Chicago. I think they're the better team. I think they're going to win the game outright. So take them from 2.5 if you can't find a 3 just to play on the spread, and get it to 8.5 and put them in a teaser with the Patriots. The other teaser options, if you don't love the Patriots, if you don't love the Texans, you can substitute some of these in. The Chiefs, just to win the game, plus a 0.5 point, take them down from 5.5 or 6 down to 0 or 0.5 point. The Bengals to even, just to win the game against the Jets, although based on the first 2 weeks, that might be a little bit more risky than these other options. The Lions plus 11.5. I think that is a great bet. Like, the Lions are very good at keeping games within 10 points, within double digits. And against a division rival that they played to within 2 points in both games last year, I like the way the Lions offense is playing. I think they can move the football on the Vikings. That's a very good bet, in my opinion, to include them in a teaser. And then the Falcons plus 6 or plus 7, depending on the spread where you are betting. I also love the Falcons. I think they're going to beat the Seahawks in Seattle. So to get them plus a touchdown-ish is a very nice play as well. So those are all the teaser options. If I were to recommend to you, I'd go with the Patriots and the Texans as one. Maybe you throw together the Lions and the Falcons as another. You could throw together the Falcons and the Texans. You could throw together the Chiefs and the Bengals. I mean, there's a lot of different approaches you could use. I would probably stay away from a full 6-team teaser because it's just difficult. One of them is bound to lose. But if you want to go a little bit more bold with 3 or 4 teams, I think that's absolutely fine as well. So just do what you think you feel strongly about this week in terms of teasers. And then to finish this off, we have the Underdog Moneyline Parlay. The Underdog Moneyline Parlay I actually really like this week. Like, I'm betting on all 3 of these teams straight out to win their games. And that's why I really love it. So we got the Houston Texans to beat the Bears. We have the Atlanta Falcons to beat the Seahawks. And we have the New England Patriots to beat the Ravens. I know some of you may say, oh, you're biased. Patriots aren't going to beat the Ravens. Fine. Okay. Just do the Falcons and the Texans then, or include another team. Maybe you like the Lions. Maybe you like the, I don't know, Broncos. I don't know who you might like. Okay. The Commanders. Who knows? But include them, whatever. Or just do the 2 teams. But I like the Patriots this week. I like the Texans this week. I like the Bears this week. So it's worth a look. And then to maximize your exposure, I would just bet all 3 of them to win straight out as well in single bets. So that, hey, maybe I don't hit the parlay, but maybe I hit 2 out of 3 and I still win quite a bit of money. So take a look at those different approaches for your parlays this week. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, Gronk spike the like button. If you did, subscribe. It's Mitch. Thanks for watching. Let me know your favorite parlays this week in the comment section below. It's Mitch. Peace and good luck this week, guys.